Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. We're back with another fantasy video, which we do live so we can answer every single person's question. Even if you don't catch us live, hit it down in the comments below. We answer everyone from there. But appreciate you guys being here. Let's get into some fantasy football talk. Today, we are talking about waiver wire pickups. Now, just like 2 weeks ago, the waiver doesn't look so hot, but we do have some key wide receivers that you can add that are only owned in 50% of leagues. So you guys have a chance to go out there and get one of these receivers that could potentially help your team the whole season. Yes, we're not just talking about 1 week, 2 weeks. We're talking the whole season with these wide receivers that we're going to be talking about today. But of course, as always, you guys, when we do these videos, we start off with quarterbacks. But before we start, should we do our giveaway right now, or should we wait until the majority of the people show up and are here live with us?
I would say we wait. We wait.
Yeah, we could hit some
Yeah,
QBs real
man.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give the fans an audience, whoever wins, so they can be like, yeah.
Yes, we are
Woo.
finally giving away our giveaway, which you guys will see in just a bit. But the first QB I want to talk about, I'm going to kick it off with us here today, is Justin Fields. I'm not the highest on this guy. I'm not the highest on the Chicago Bears either. But you know what? He just got a new toy, which we will talk about later on today. But Justin Fields, finally, the Chicago Bears are utilizing Justin Fields what he's supposed to do, what he's good at doing, and that is with his legs. I have it right here in my notes. He has had 40 plus rushing yard games in the past 6 games. He's utilizing his legs. Okay, he's getting out there. He's getting at least 40 yards or 4 points a game with his legs. And now that the offense is trending up the right way, he's going to be a consistent quarterback, 15, 16 points every single week. Now, do I trust the Bears? No. But if you need an answer for the QB position, this guy's a streamer. Just like Daniel Jones, he's a streamer. It's all about matchups. I know Daniel Jones didn't do so hot last week, even though he did have a favorable matchup against the Seattle Seahawks, but they just beat the Doonies out of him. But yeah, Justin Fields is my number one QB to talk about on this week's waiver wire priority list.
Ooh, you got a quarterback you want to talk about, Reed?
I do. I want to talk about Taylor Heineke. This is what somebody this is what somebody who nobody liked, especially AJ. AJ does not like this guy for some reason, but he's been playing well. He played. He put up 14 points against that good Packers pass defense. And then this. Come on, we're number one in pass defense.
I saw a joke somewhere. Sorry.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Taylor Heineke's been playing very well. If you are desperate for a quarterback, if you still need somebody right now, he just put up 22 points against Indiana. Then they're going against Minnesota next week, and Minnesota's pass defense is not very good at either. They give up a lot of points. So I would definitely start Heineke if you need a desperate quarterback. If somebody's on a bye this week, definitely pick up Taylor Heineke.
Wow.
That's a good pick right there, Reed.
Thank you. Thank you for being extremely rude to me.
Hey, Reed, don't worry. I had Heineke on my list too, so
okay.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You can have him because I have another guy who is insanely better than both of y'all's picks right now. But just because of his schedule that he has coming up, his name is Marcus Mariota. No, not Jimmy G. AJ. Oh my jeez.
Marcus Mariota, dude.
Marcus Mariota, and here is why. The past 4 games, he's only had one game that's been below 15 points, and that was against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are number 5 against QBs. But here's the great thing. Marcus Mariota does not have a team in the top 10 against QBs in fantasy for the rest of the season. Every game is either mediocre or the best a quarterback in fantasy can have, because he's got Chargers coming up, he's got Carolina, then he's got his toughest one in Chicago. But after that, everybody is above 16. So Marcus Mariota has been playing great. He's had 2 games with 22 points or more, 1 game almost at 18, and then 1 game at 12 within the past 4 weeks. And those were against tough defenses. So I think coming into the last stretch of his season, he's going to play well, especially with Cordero Patterson coming back to give him some relief. So Cordero Patterson is not just a run-heavy running back, but he's also a very good running back for the passing game. So Marcus Mariota will benefit from this, and Marcus Mariota is going to continue to use his legs. So that's a big reason, just like Justin Fields. He has had some games where he's been rushing for over 60 yards, but then he has had some games where he rushes for 20, but he's still passing the ball pretty good. It seems like that team is getting a rhythm, especially since Kyle Pitts is back in the fold with them for the past one game, so don't count on that. But everybody else should do their part, and I think the Falcons are trying to actually have a winning season this year. So I don't see why Marcus Mariota wouldn't put up at least 5 more games where he has 20-plus points or more.
I don't like him. I don't like him. But you know what? If you need a quarterback, if you're running a 2 QB league, I mean, I guess that's an option for you, because Daniel Jones just completely shit the bed last week. But I have one more quarterback. I really don't want to talk about this guy, but I feel like I'll be doing a disservice for everyone who's listening in on us if I don't talk about him. I'm not going to put his name on the screen. I want to talk about Deshaun Watson and how he is now trending. For some reason, he still has a few more weeks during his suspension. Not a fan of him. I don't think he's going to come out and ball out and do very well. I don't think that's going to happen. But this is the facts, right? The facts is ever since he came into the NFL league, he's been a QB fantasy sweetheart. You know, he's been scoring a ton of points every single week. He's been one of the top QBs out there. And since he is trending now, if you're desperate, if you don't care about your image, go out there, go get Deshaun now until he's gone. Like I said, I don't want to talk about that guy. I don't like him, whatever. But we're talking about fantasy football, and I don't want to do a disservice to you guys and give you any disadvantage in your league. But yeah, I think we're done with QBs. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I was looking through the running backs that I have listed, and there's this one running back that I've had here, I think for the past 5 weeks now. Has it been? I'm going to say it again. Khalil Herbert. This is the dude. All right. I know Montgomery's running back one. Yeah, he gets a lot of snaps. Khalil Herbert, week to week, keeps on outperforming David Montgomery. And now with this offense trying to be more dynamic, like what it is now, he's out there. I believe he's a top 20 running back right now in fantasy football. He's a top 20 running back as a backup. Who are you? Javonte Williams? Yeah, not Javonte Williams. Jamal Williams. They're going out there. They're putting up these numbers because clearly these guys are more dynamic than their first string guy. We even saw I already forgot his name. MCDC come out and say that Taylor. I'm all over the place today. I'm about to say
You
Taylor
got this.
Swift.
You got this. It's all good.
Yeah, that Swift shouldn't be getting as many reps as he should have, as he gotten this past game, because he was coming off the injury. He wasn't ready. Same thing with David Montgomery. He's coming off the injury. He doesn't look the same. He doesn't. Khalil Herbert, he's younger, he's faster, he's smarter, he's bigger. He looks good. He's putting up consistent points. I like this guy. Huge stash. Not the biggest handcuff guy in fantasy football right now. He's not. But this is the guy that's on the waiver wire and needs to be on a roster.
Well, I want to talk about a guy who is very much less flashy. It's a guy who was traded today, and he wasn't the guy who was the main trade, but he was in the trade where Nyheim Hines went to the Bills. But I want to talk about Zach Moss. He hasn't played a whole lot, but if you saw Nyheim Hines' production with Indianapolis Colts, whether Jonathan Taylor was fully healthy or whether he was hurt, Nyheim Hines was getting all of the pass catching snaps, and he was getting good passes. You know, there was like about 3 or 4 games where he had more than 10 points, but then there was 3 or 4 games where he had less than 5 points. So the production is a little bit sketchy there. But for those of you who are in a 12-man league, a 14-man league, and you have nobody to pick up, Zach Moss is only owned in 0.8% of rosters, and it's looking like he's going to be the pass-catching back for the Indianapolis Colts, who he was just traded to from the Bills. In my opinion, Zach Moss had some production there with the Bills, even though they've had 2 other running backs that are ahead of him in Singletary, and I can't remember. I think it's Cook. James Cook, right?
Cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Zach Moss was the 3rd string, but he had 2 games where he had 5 or more points in fantasy, and that was week 1 and week 4. Sorry, but going into the schedule that they have, the Colts have a pretty favorable schedule. They only have 3 games with top 10 running backs, top 10 games against running backs. So I think that Zach Moss could possibly put in some good work here. He's a good guy to stash here because, as I said, Nyheim Hines is out. Now Zach Moss comes in to take in that role. It might take him a week or 2 to get the playbook down and everything like that. But Zach Moss, we saw him 2 years ago when he first came into the league. He was a guy that was putting up massive amount of points when the Bills were running and passing the ball a lot to running backs. So I think Zach Moss could replicate that, especially since the Colts are having troubles with finding a spark. And I think they traded for him for a reason. They traded away Nyheim Hines for a reason. So I don't see why they wouldn't use Zach Moss over their other second-string running back, which is Deion Jackson, who had a pretty good time when what's his name was out, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, all right. I like that. I'm going to talk about the other part of that trade really quickly. Nyheim Hines. I'm going to say this guy, maybe you should be a little bit cautious, even though he kind of sounds exciting because he's going to be on that red hot Bills offense. But there's a lot of mouths to feed over there. You got Stephon Diggs, you got Gabe Davis. You still have Singletary on that team. There's a lot of mouths to feed. I don't know if his production is going to go up or down. I definitely think you should be wary of him the first few weeks while he gets adjusted into that Bills offense. But this could potentially, if you just have an extra roster spot and you just need to find somebody to pick up, this is a good guy I think you can pick up and it could potentially pay off for you. But it's not a home run like sinker, in my opinion.
Singletary, yeah. I would
Nice.
agree.
Yeah, good point. I got another running back here. I'm going to go again. This is also the third week in a row that I'm talking about a Ravens running back. This week, I'm talking about Kenyon Drake. Now, last week, I did say only play Kenyon Drake if Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are both injured, are not playing. It's that time. They're both injured. It doesn't look like Gus Edwards is going to play this week. His injury was kind of minor. He did injure his knee this past game. He left early, and Kenyon Drake was heavily utilized there. So coming into this week, Kenyon Drake's going to be the guy. He's going to be that workhorse to that team. And not only is he a great rusher, but he's also a great pass catcher as well. And the Ravens are just going to utilize Kenyon Drake so freaking much. Now, he is not a seasoned running back guy, but for the next week, maybe 2 weeks, I don't think Gus Edwards is going to be gone for 2 weeks, but maybe 2 weeks, Kenyon Drake will be that person to score that many points for you, just in case you got people on the bye week. And we got quite a few teams on the bye week this week. I mean, we got the Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Giants, Saquon, Steelers, Najee, Niners, CMC. We got a lot of guys out there on that bye week. So Kenyon Drake is a great person to go out there to the waiver wire pickup. He's only owned in 17.7% of leagues. It's a low risk fill-in type of deal here. So if you got one of those guys, like I said, Nick Chubb, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon, CMC, Najee Harris, which those are key running backs. This is a dude that's going to be putting up some solid running back 2 points for your fantasy football team this week. Just want to emphasize that. You guys have any other running backs here?
I do not, man. Just like we said in the beginning, it's slim pickings out there, and everybody has already been picked up, and at least in our leagues. I mean, that's the thing when you have a lot of guys that know what they're doing in fantasy football. It's hard to find these gems in the rough, but we try our best here.
I'm going to throw this guy out there. He's another running back. Talk about Isaiah Pacheco. He was hot. Was it 2 weeks ago? He was trending because it did come out that he was going to be the running back 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they went on a bye week, so it kind of died down. So he's only owned in 30% of leagues. But this guy, it looks like he's taking running back 1 reps, but don't be mistaken. He is not a league winner just yet. They are feeding all mouths there, okay? They're feeding Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they're also feeding Jerick McKinnon. So unless one of those guys go down with an injury or one of those guys, I was going to say get traded, but the trade deadline already happened. They're staying there. So unless one of those guys get injured, this guy will be able to help you out in fantasy football. But until then, he's going to be like a Brian Robinson for the Washington Commanders. There's a 3-person committee out there in the backfield won't be able to give you that many points or consistent points, but this is a good guy to store. But reverting back to what I was saying about the best handcuff out there right now is as Alexander Madison. He is the best opportunity for you to get a running back one if Dalvin Cook gets injured. I like Khalil Herbert. I love him a lot, but for me, he's ranked second when it comes to handcuffs. Alexander Madison is that dude. But yeah, I think that's it for running backs, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So now we could transition into some wide receivers, which I was never hot on this guy. I never said anything good about him. Now that I think about it, but Darnell Mooney from the Arizona Cardinals, he showed what he's no, that's not mine. Not Darnell Mooney. Who do I have on here?
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore, yes. Rondell
Yeah.
Moore from the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry, who put Darnell Mooney on here? Anyways,
That
we'll
wasn't
talk
me.
about that later.
I'll talk about him in a little bit. Don't worry.
All right, so Rondell Moore from the Arizona Cardinals. I like him a lot. He really struts his strut last week, and that's because Brown is out. He's out through injury. He's going to be gone for another 4 weeks. And then we also have Robbie Anderson, who went to the Arizona Cardinals, but he only took I think it was like 15% of snap. It was very low. He wasn't out there that very much. While in the meantime, Rondell Moore took 99% of snaps. I got the second most targets, of course, behind D-Hop. This guy is clearly the wide receiver too. And if they keep this trend going where they utilize him almost every freaking down, he only missed one play. This is a good guy to have. He might be producing some good, flex position spots, a good Godwin type player. I like this guy. I'm not crazy about him. I'm not really confident, but get this guy while you can, while Robbie Anderson is not it, and while Hollywood Brown is injured. Says Tyler. Tyler has a question here. It says he's 2-6. Team is Justin Fields, Leonard Fournette, Najee Harris, DJ Moore, Godwin, Thielen, Cooper, Freiermuth, Cooks, London. What can I possibly trade to give myself a chance to win some more games now? Honestly, Najee Harris isn't that guy, okay? And people are starting to pick up on that trend. Najee Harris hasn't done anything all season long. So if you can trade him, trade him. Possibly try to trade him high. I don't think you would be able to, but that's one guy you need out of there. Leonard Fournette, he's on a downslope, but look at your team. I don't think you could afford to get rid of him right now. DJ Moore is on a good trend. Godwin's staying consistent. Adam Thielen's going to go up as well. Amari Cooper, okay, I like your wide receivers. I'm going to say they're mid, okay? This is not, I'm not bashing on your team. They're mid, which is good, consistent guys. Freiermuth, I like him as well. I think the Steelers utilize him very much so. Brandon Cooks, he did get traded, so he'll be good. Drake London. Work on your running backs. You got too many wide receivers there. Get some running backs down. Pair up some Najee Harris. Pair up maybe a Drake London. I don't think they'll bite for it, but make it flashy. Pair up a Najee Harris and pair up an Adam Thielen and get yourself a solidified running back 2, low-end running back 1. That's just my opinion. But Justin Fields is going to be a roller coaster. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, man, I agree. I think he should package someone who's starting to get hot or is going to come back into the lineup. The first guy that comes to mind for me, because I'm very high on him, is you can use one of these guys or two of these lower end wide receivers like Drake London and Cooks, in my opinion, unless he's talking about that he has Dalvin Cook, but I don't know why he would have him on the bench. But I'm pretty sure he's talking about Brandon Cooks. Use those guys to get a trade for like a running back like Patterson, a running back like Mixon, who's consistent, someone who you can have that you can slide into your lineup and instantly have someone who's going to give you consistent points for the entire week. I would even try to make a stretch and go for Dalvin Cook or someone like that, but that's going to be a little bit high to trade for. You might have to trade one of your better end receivers, but some other people to trade for is like Miles Sanders at running back. I just think those guys are consistent. I just feel like he's one consistent running back away because Leonard Fournette has been so wishy-washy lately with Tom Brady and all that. Najee Harris has barely started getting above 10 points again, but his receivers are stacked. So I think that's the best bet that he can do is without breaking the bank and trading away someone like DJ Moore or Godwin, he's got to go for these mid-tier running backs until he gets someone that hits because right now it's like I said, it's slim pickings. All the the running backs are either switching out for younger running backs or it's not going well for running backs right now. And this was the only week where running backs actually popped off, but we don't know if it's going to stay like that. Standard league. Would you trade Kamara, Diggs, and Amari Cooper for Cup? Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Automatically.
Did someone offer you that?
If it's a standard league, for sure, because Kamara gets a lot of his points from receptions.
Yeah.
So does Cup, though. That's the thing.
Okay, so you see, Kamara, he's popping off right now because his whole team's injured. And once those guys come back, especially Jameis Winston, once he comes back, he's gonna vulture a lot of those short-term run games away from Alvin Kamara. So Alvin Kamara is still gonna be a good running back, but he's not gonna be that guy that you see these past couple of weeks. Stephon Diggs, he's a league winner, right? But you're replacing with Cooper Kupp, so that evens out. Kelsey, that guy's a league winner. You're not going to find another guy like that in the league, especially in the tight end position. So definitely get Kelsey and DeAndre Swift. That's someone that you got to be patient with. Eventually, he'll find his wheels again and he'll start rolling. But yeah, definitely take that trade. You're getting Kupp and Kelsey, two of the best the players in their positions. You got to go for it. Yeah, you're losing Diggs. You're losing Kamara. That's the guy you got to sell high. Amari Cooper, you're losing that one with Swift, in my opinion. But Swift has a higher seeding than Amari, especially with Deshaun Watson coming back. It could be messy out there in Cleveland for just a little bit.
I totally agree.
Yeah, man. And I think right now Cooper Kupp is the guy who has the most yak yards in the NFL currently. I believe half of his I believe it's like 300, 400 yards of his that he's had receiving are yak yards. So that's the best quality wide receiver you could get in a standard league, in my opinion.
For sure. Don't be too worried about the injury right now. It's a minor injury. He's not going to be missing time. And now he's going on to I thought he was going to a bye week, but yeah, it's nothing to be worried about. You're good there, my guy. Tyler says, all right, appreciate you guys. Yeah, of course. Appreciate you being here live with us. If you're feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 300. We've been growing a lot lately, but we appreciate you guys watching us here. Jai M says, in a PPR league, who would you rather have? Ross, D-Hop, or AJ Brown?
I mean, instantly, I'm going to say D-Hop out of all those guys. He's the guy that's going to be most consistently getting 20 points and above. AJ Brown had a big banger right now of a week, but I don't see him doing that on a consistent basis. He will continue to get 18, 19 points, maybe even a little bit less in some games. But I just think D-Hop is the best guy there. I think he means like who would you rather have rostered? I think I would go with D-Hop. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought he meant Amon-Ra St. Brown, but yeah, who would I have rostered? D-Hop or AJ Brown in a PPR league? Easily D-Hop. I love AJ Brown. He's going to be making more splash plays. I know that kind of sounds weird when you have D-Hop in the conversation, but one thing that D-Hop's going to get that AJ Brown's not going to get is a consistent at least 10 targets a game. So in a PPR league, I like that. If it's non-PPR, I might go AJ Brown, but D-Hop, he's going to be consistently getting those targets, and that guy has freaking ginormous hands. He's going to be catching those games, racking up those points for you. Nick Perone says, rank these guys rest of the season. Justin Fields, Jimmy G, and Jared Goff. Jimmy G is the most handsome guy there. Are you talking about how good they look? Because Jimmy G, hands down, looking great. All jokes aside, honestly, it's gonna Jared Goff. He's gonna continue to shit the bed. He just lost one of his great assets to the team offensively. Jimmy G, he's gonna be inconsistent all year long. I love Jimmy G. He's so handsome. But you know what? The rest of his schedule looks pretty darn good. I like his schedule, and now that he has a new toy in CMC, which he will be passing the ball to a lot, as you saw last week, I like it. Justin Fields. This is more of the person that I don't trust. Past 3 games, he had 40 plus, or now past 4 games, right? No, past 6 games, he's had 40 plus rushing yards. I like that a lot, right? But how consistent can he be on that horrible offense? I don't want this to be biased here. So, Reed, Vince, y'all want to answer this question?
Jared Goff, I don't trust anymore. The first few weeks look good, but it's the same old Jared Goff in my opinion. Same old Lions. Jimmy G, he's the most consistent person here. He has the offense that's going to lead him to having consistently 15 points or higher. Justin Fields, he may have a pop-off game every once in a while. but those are just highly hard to predict. And then the rest of the time, he's going to crap the bed, in my opinion. You can't trust him unless you know insider information on when he's going to do good and when he's going to do bad. I'm going to go with Jimmy G here.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think it's obvious here. You look at the matchups that all three of these guys have. Jimmy G has the best matchups no matter what. He will not probably be a guy who's gonna go over 20 points, but he will be the most consistent. So if you are looking for someone who's consistent here, that's Jimmy G in a nutshell. I would say Jared Goff has the next best schedule, but he's the most inconsistent quarterback, especially he just lost Hawkinson in that trade, and he got absolutely nobody back. Amon-Ra is not looking like he and Jared Goff are functioning very well. So I would have to go Justin Fields here, even though he has one of the toughest schedules left, even though he just got Claypool. It's not going to work out. He will get great points for the next 3 weeks because he's got easy matchups all above 28 ranked against QBs in fantasy. But after that, it's going to take the hugest dip you've ever seen. He's going to be a guy who gets 12, 13 points, and it's all going to be with his legs.
Nice. Good answer, fellas. Next question. Armando says, fellas, desperate for a wide receiver this week. Not sure if Kupp is playing and Debo's out this week. Should I use my high waiver pick for Myers? Who do y'all recommend? Okay, I gotta say 3 things here, right? One, Kupp, he's gonna play 100%. He's fine. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna play. Yeah, Debo's out this week due to a bye week. How the hell is Jacoby Myers in your waiver list? How the hell is he available for you? I would definitely recommend getting Myers, but if you're looking for this week, I don't know who the Patriots are going up against this week. If someone can look that up right quick.
Yes,
but we've also talked about Rondale Moore going against the Colts. Oh, I definitely like that matchup. I like that matchup a lot. I would definitely pick Jacoby Myers, but just in case you're not able to get him on the waiver, there's people like Rondale Moore and also Garrett Wilson who took back that wide receiver 1 spot for the New York Jets. Yeah, Zach Wilson didn't look so great, but he did play, I think, 95% of the snaps and got the most targets from that offense. So that's definitely someone to look at. But Jacoby Myers, he's definitely a sleeper. Go out there, go pick him up. Y'all cool?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just read up on Cooper Kupp right now. It says that he only has swelling and no structural damage in his injury. So he's going to play. He has 5 more days to get good and everything. And Deebo Samuel is going to come back. And he's so I think you're fine. If you can pick up Myers, though, just in case Deebo is out, which I doubt again. But Myers is a good pickup because he's going to continue to be doing the same that he's doing right now.
Yeah, that's the one you can have for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good pickup right there. I can't believe he's out there in the waivers. Gamer Z says Chase Edmonds was traded away, and now the Dolphins' backfield is Raheem the Dream Mostert and Jeff Wilson Quilkson, whatever you want to call him, Jr. I'm in need of a running back this week. Should I try getting Mostert? 1, how the hell is Mostert in your waivers? I don't know how. He's doing so well as far as carries. He's getting the majority of the carries. Now that Edmonds is gone, this is the last week that you could get Mostert. I'm telling you right now, the last week that you could get and actually utilize Mostert to his fullest potential is this upcoming week. Because after that, here comes the show. Jeff Wilson Jr., he showed the whole NFL league that he's capable of being that running back 1. He's coming from a 49ers system to a 49ers former coach. They're going to want to utilize him. Same thing with Raheem Mostert. Surprise, surprise, he won the job. Now Jeff Wilson Jr. is out there, more dynamic, not as fast, but younger, fresh, and ready to go pass catching back. If you need a running back this week, Raheem Mostert is the guy to get. After this week, there's going to be some fight for that running back 1 position.
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk about that later when we talk about all the trades. But yeah, I think Mostert and Wilson are going to be 50-50 going on through the season just because Miami has so many weapons there. It's going to be hard for one of them to just take over consistently. It's going to be a battle for the next 4 weeks to see who gets more snaps.
Let's see. YouTube, love the name, my man. Appreciate you being here live. We do fantasy football talk every Tuesday at 6 o'clock live. So come in, join us, ask us whatever questions you would like. Reed, you want to take this question away?
All right. Should I trade Dameon Pierce for Mike Evans? Oof.
I would really love to see this guy's roster, though.
Yeah, if you could let us know your roster, we can give you a really educated answer to this. But Damian Pierce, how's he been doing? I haven't.
He's been doing
checked
very
it.
well.
He's
He's
doing very
actually
well.
ranked
That's what I thought.
higher than, I want to say, he's ranked higher than Dalvin Cook right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But
Yeah,
he
because
did not have the best of games this past week, but don't let
mm,
that scare you.
he's going to be utilized every single game because really, what do they got going for him? They got Brandon Cooks. I don't like it, but Mike Evans, he's that guy that's going to be, he's your wide receiver one. So just depending on your team, if you're in need of a wide receiver, I think that's a good even trade, good even swap for you right there. So it just depends what you need. If you don't need a wide receiver, stick with Damian Pierce. He's a good guy, good starter, to week basis. By that, but while Reed's doing that, we got another question here. Vince, you want to take this one away?
Yeah, it says I start 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. I have Cup, Diggs, D Hop, AJ Brown,
Get this guy out
Olave,
of here. Get this
Mixon,
guy out of
Pierce,
here.
and Lenny. Oh my God! I know Jay, you've been here before.
Go answer this question. This guy's
You,
trolling. He's
yeah,
just flexing his good team.
you
Get
just
out of
have the
here.
most insane lineup. I say you could put any mixture of those guys, and you're gonna win your week. So, good luck.
Yeah,
Even
for
though
sure. Cup, Diggs, D Hop. Love that. And then flex,
yeah,
you gotta have.
I'd go Pierce, honestly,
Yeah, probably Pierce or Mixon,
or
but
Mixon. Yeah.
Bengals are I don't know what's going on right now in Cincinnati, but I'll definitely go Pierce. Great problem to have, Jai. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. KJ Frederick says, "Who is a better play this week? Full point PPR, Christian Kirk or Gabe Davis?" Christian Kirk, 100%. Full point PPR. Gabe Davis, he's going to see around maybe 3 receptions a game.
Mhm.
I say receptions, not targets. Christian Kirk, he's going to be force fed because of that contract that he has. He has to own up to that wide receiver one spot. So he's going to be force fed at least 8 to 10 targets a game. Yeah.
I agree with that.
No
Reed,
contest.
take this one away.
All right, who is the better waiver ad and play this week? Full point PPR: Terrence Marshall, Kadarius Toney, Dondre Carter, or Sky Moore.
Right off the bat here, I know my answer, but just because I know of that team and their roster that's coming up here, I'm gonna go DeAndre Carter from the Chargers. Kadarius Toney is not gonna be implemented into that offense all that well just yet. He needs some time. They have too many weapons there in Kansas City. Terrence Marshall, he is going to get a bump up in some receptions and all that, but he's not solidified yet, in my opinion. DeAndre Carter is solidified with the Chargers. He's been playing in multiple games this year as well as last year. So that guy's going to get multiple receptions and all that. So I'm going DeAndre Carter.
I'm just going to agree here. This is kind of feeding off of KJ's question. Is Keenan Allen finally going to play? It looks like he is going to be playing, but he's coming back. He's going to be very limited. I don't think he's going to be as dynamic like when D-Hop came back. This seemed like a very serious injury. But yeah, that's another reason why Carter will be a good point of contact here because you also have Palmer coming back from concussion. He's also coming back from injury. So you want to go with the healthiest guy on that offense for this week. I like it. Not in love with the options, but I think that's probably the best one there. KJ has one more question. He says, last question. Hey, ask as many questions as you want. We answer every single question. We're just super excited and happy that you guys are spending your time listening to us, getting some fantasy football advice. So if you're feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys so very much. He says, should I drop Brian Robinson for Kenyon Drake? I have Gus the Bus rostered already. Love it. Thank you guys. Appreciate the content. Of course, we appreciate you being here. Brian Robinson, as we see, he lost that running back one spot to Antonio Gibson. So he got it, and then he lost it. It is a 3-back by committee over there in Washington. So you got to share with Antonio Gibson and also JD McKissick, which is not ideal. I have Brian Robinson on my bench just in case one of those guys get injured, because when or if those guys get injured, one of them, that's where you're going to see a huge upside for Brian Robinson. But Kenyon Drake is a great pickup for this week and this week only. I'm glad you already have Gus the Bus rostered because Kenyon Drake's going to kill it this week. And that's it. Unless they both get injured once again. Awesome. So Dominic, we got a lot of questions here. We appreciate every single one of you guys being here. Dominic says, sup boys, should I trade Debo for Swift and Jamal Williams? 10-man PPR. My team is super deep at wide receiver, and I'm pretty thin at RB since Brees went down. Oh, rest in peace, Brees. Thank you. I'm a Niners fan, obviously, so I don't want this to be biased. You guys go ahead and take it away.
Go ahead first, Reed.
Trading away Debo. AJ's been talking to me about how he wants to trade away Debo, but that's only because he has CMC also. I think Debo hasn't been doing that great, but he's gonna come back into play, in my opinion. I wouldn't want to trade him, in my opinion. Swift, he's been dealing with injuries. I think what's his name? Dan Campbell just came out today and said we've been giving him too many carries. I don't think he's ready to come back yet. And then Jamal Williams. He's great. Can someone remind me what he's been doing lately? I haven't.
Like 20 points every
okay,
time.
that's what I thought. Okay, he's still doing that. That's crazy. But as far as for trading for two running backs on the same team, that kind of scares me. I personally wouldn't do that, in my opinion. I would trade for whichever one you think is going to continue this trend. And Jamal Williams is putting up 20 points a game. DeAndre Swift, even though he's talented, I don't think he's going to be getting a lot of carries the next few weeks. So I wouldn't want to trade away Debo still, in my opinion.
He says he's super deep at wide receiver.
So trade Jamal Williams. Yeah,
you're getting running back one no matter what.
Yeah, I think if you can swing it where you get both, I think it's fine. I know Reed makes a great argument here that to have two running backs from the same team is bad. But right now, we don't know which one is going to be the best going ahead in 2 or 3 weeks. Swift is going to be taking the back end here to Jamal Williams. So Jamal Williams is the guy to get for the next 2 weeks. But in 2 weeks, I could see the script totally flip. So I could see Swift being the main guy after that. So I think if you can swing it to get both, just my opinion, I would do it. Later on, you can trade the other one away for someone else. But if you're really that deep at wide receiver, I see no reason why you shouldn't do this.
I would look at whatever he else has as far as running backs on his team, and if he has someone else that maybe not even it has to be comparable to Swift, but just not a huge drop down as far as a value, I would go over that. I would go for him over than Swift, because two running backs from the same team, I don't like that.
Debo's worth more, I think, in my opinion. I think Debo's worth more than those guys. Too inconsistent. You want more out of it. But we're going to take a quick break right here, you guys. We're not leaving the screen, but I do want to say that we are going to be doing a giveaway right now. So we got this giveaway of a Shaquille Leonard autographed mini helmet. I see that we got 10 people live here with us. So that's pretty good. I know you guys are like, oh, shoot, I didn't answer that. You know what? I'll give you guys a chance. We will be doing this in the next 5 minutes. So if you guys are in the comment section, just press that just say subscribed. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel right here. And I'll enter you guys right now. And we will, pick a winner in 5 minutes. Okay, we're doing this. We're going to do it anyways. But I wasn't expecting to have such a big crowd today. But yeah, just hit subscribe, hit or comment subscribe, and we're going to go ahead and give this guy away in the next 5 minutes. And it's legit. It's legit. What's the next question? It says, should I trade Herbert for Amon-Ra now that I have Fields and I need a wide receiver? Oh, Amon-Ra will pick up. I still have I still have hope there, but if you have Fields, I still don't think that matters because Herbert's been putting up a lot of good points. But if you need wide receiver depth, I think that's a really good trade. You're potentially getting a solid wide receiver one for a mid-tier running back. So if you need depth, I'd do it.
Shoot, man. In my opinion, I say you keep Herbert and you trade away Fields. I know you just got him maybe, but Fields right now is hot and heavy. People are going to want him on their roster. And like we said earlier in the video, Justin Fields' schedule going forward is pretty rocky. He's going to be playing against some of the best defenses against quarterbacks in fantasy. And even though he did get Claypool, I don't see his production staying the same here. That's just my opinion. I'm not too sure about how these guys feel about that option there. But if you want another good wide receiver, Fields is of great interest right now in fantasy. So I could see Fields getting you someone like Keenan Allen, someone like like Debo maybe even too. I know we just talked about how Debo, you can trade him away. But you can also get him with someone like Fields. Just my opinion there. If you need someone else at running back or at wide receiver.
Jai M says, would you trade away AJ Brown or D Hop for ETN in full PPR? I'll trade away AJ Brown. Do it right now. Get Travis ETN because that guy's getting so involved in the pass catching game. He is a huge asset to any team out there. We're going to keep on going here. We got a lot of questions. He says, should I trade Geno, Fournette, and Higgins for Kyler, Debo, and Swift? This person is looking to accept Geno and Higgins for Kyler and Debo, but not sure about the running back part. For Higgins, where do you get Higgins from? Okay, let me read this again. Should I trade Geno, Fournette, and Higgins? There you go. For Higgins, he's only going to be good for right before playoffs. Okay, so Debo, I think he's going to have a great long run. Swift, I think he's going to look. Fournette's going to look like Swift in the long run as well. And Kyler is a lot better than Geno fantasy wise. I don't like Kyler in the NFL, but fantasy wise, I think he puts up plenty of points. I think I'd take this. Y'all take it?
I'll take this. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I would take that too. I'm a Geno fan, but he's not going to be a guy who's going to consistently get you 20 points or more like Kyler might. So, better deal. Yeah.
Nice. He has back-to-back questions. He says, I have Butker and Carlson rostered. Picked up Butker after Carlson got 0 last week. Should we start him or Carlson and the Cowboys defense on bye? So I added the Chiefs defense versus Titans, or should I play Vikings defense versus Washington?
Loaded, a lot of questions there.
Yeah, a lot of questions right there. So don't worry, we'll answer all of them. But let's get back here. Should he start Butker over Carlson?
Oof. I want to see who. Well, is Butker still on the Chiefs?
I don't know. How about you do that research, or one of us do that research, and we'll answer this next question. He says the Cowboys defense on bye, so he added the Chiefs defense versus Titans, or you played the Chiefs defense versus the Titans over the Vikings against Washington. In my opinion, we've seen teams score against the Vikings. I'm still very high on them, but the Chiefs defense is just a little stronger than Titans. If they start Malik Willis again, that's going to be trouble for them. I don't know how serious that Ryan Tannehill injury is, but even if Ryan Tannehill is there, I think Chiefs Kingdom will get some more points in the Vikings defense.
All right, so
I would have to agree there.
Butker is on the Chiefs. He was injured for most of the season. He is now back. Just coming off this bye now. And then Carlson is on the Raiders. He's been very consistent. He's only had one game underneath 10 points for a kicker. Actually.
Yeah, I actually have him. I felt like they got blown out, no?
Yeah, they lost 24-0 against
dude. I don't think it's going to happen again. I think those teams are going to find themselves in the red zone no matter what. You're going to get points. I think Butker's going to, against the Titans defense, you're going to find themselves out there a lot.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have him one of the leagues too because he did so well, but he just totally crapped the bed.
Yeah.
But good question. Good questions. Jack Kiefer says, is it worth it to keep Michael Thomas at this point? He's been out for 5 weeks, and I'm getting tired of him wasting the bench spot when I have so few healthy receivers. I've been saying this all season long. I said it was going to happen, right? I don't like Michael Thomas. He started off, I think he had one game, right, where he just went off. It was game 1 or game 2.
I think it was week 1.
Yeah, go sell high on that guy. Go sell him. Get him off your roster. He's just wasting space right now. And then even when he does come back, you're going to have Jarvis Landry coming back. And then you have Chris Olave has been red hot, and Alvin Kamara. And then you're going to have Jameis Winston coming back that doesn't know how to be a quarterback. Yeah, get rid of that guy. He says, went from 1-4 to 4-4 in this league. This is my worst one. Hey, man, as long as you're getting wins under your belt, that's all that matters. Keep on racking up those wins. And Patterson will come back. I know Vince is very high on him.
Yeah, man, I got him in 3 leagues. I'm just waiting for this week so he can come back and get some reps in there.
Nice. KJ has another question. It says, Deontay Foreman a good play again this week as a flex? I have Joe Mixon and Aaron Jones as RB1, RB2, Gus Edwards and Brian Edwards on the bench. I think he's good. I know Hubbard's going to be coming back, but Foreman's had back-to-back great games. You're just going to kick yourself in the butt if he has another bad game. If he has another great game and you have him on the bench, I say you play him out there. He's not the best pass catching back. That's Hubbard's position, but he's coming off an injury once again. Foreman's going to get the majority of those carries. You got to start him. You guys agree here?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think he's just too consistent. Like we said in a recent video, Deontay Foreman already has 2 games in the past 2 games over 100 yards rushing. He's not gonna lose any production, even if Hubbard is back.
Yep.
Here, where's my QB guys at? You guys answer this one.
Ooh, Burrow, trade him away. I would say yes, because Lamar Jackson already had his bye week. Lamar Jackson is not going to be a guy who you should be scared about getting injured. Of course, knock on wood every time we talk about that. But Lamar Jackson is going to continue to be a 20-point guy or above. Just depends on his matchup, but he will be consistent. So you're safe to trade away Burrow. Try to get whatever you need. He says he already has solid wide receivers down here. So try to go for someone like Travis Etienne, someone you can get that gets around 15 to 20 points. Even Mixon's another good guy to get. Just anybody who's pretty consistent. Look at the teams and look for a roster that needs a quarterback very badly, someone who's been switching out every week to try to get the best quarterback, and trade them for a running back that you need.
Yeah. Trade away bench players that you'll never use. Get them out of here.
It's time for a giveaway, you guys. Woo! So I already added Jai M, and I also added Ray Gamer because they put in the comment section that they are subscribed. So while I'm talking right now, just say that you're subscribed, and I'm going to put you in. But time is running out. I'm about to bring up the wheel right here. I'm looking. I'm about to spin that wheel. Okay, you guys ready?
We're ready.
All right, y'all already know what to say, right?
Spin that
okay,
wheel.
Here we go. Let's see what happens here.
So unfortunate.
No way. Big Money Joe. He's not even here on the stream.
Wow.
Big Money Joe's coming in. Congratulations, Big Money Joe. He's a Niners faithful. He's out there in California, so the shipping is going to kill me a little bit. But I'm going to send this to your address. I want to get with you after this video, and we're going to go ahead and send you this awesome Shaquille Barrett or Shaquille Leonard. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's an autographed helmet.
Shaquille Leonard.
He has like a million names.
Yeah.
But it says, yeah, he subbed. Everyone's subbed here. Appreciate you guys. If I can't get more as a waiver, then I will get Dobbs then. Reed?
Dobbs did have that good game. I think he's a good person to have on your bench. As far as starting, I can't say 100% yet if he's going to be. The Packer in me would say yes, you should start him every single week. But as somebody who wants to help you in fantasy, I'm not going to tell you to start him every single week unless you see a very favorable matchup. If Allen Lazard is still down, if we don't have a lot of wide receiver options, then he's a good start in my opinion.
I like this question right here. I like this question because for me, I feel like it's so easy. You got to go with Travis Etienne. He's a league winner out here. DeAndre Swift has not found himself just yet. Travis Etienne, he's the only guy over there in Jacksonville. Start him every single week while you can. And I do believe you said you're in a full PPR. Do it, man. That's the guy. Chris, appreciate you being here live on the stream, my guy. Appreciate the question. It says, should I trade Jalen Hurts for Deshaun Watson, Khalil Herbert, and Pickens? Record 3-5. I need RB help and dealing with Mike Williams injury plus Andrews hasn't been 100%, but I'm sure we'll bounce back. This guy's trying to swindle you, my man. Swindle you. There's only one guy in that trade that I somewhat like, and that's Khalil Herbert. But Jalen Hurts is a league winner. There's a reason why he's putting 3 players for the price of 1. And those are all players that this guy has on his bench and has not played a single game for this person. I know it, okay? If you need a running back and if you're able to trade Jalen Hurts because you have a solid running back on your bench, go get someone of that worth. Go get yourself a Dalvin Cook. Go get yourself a Joe Mixon, one of those guys, a Travis Etienne. I love Travis Etienne. Go get Travis Etienne for Jalen Hurts. Not this dude. It's just taking up roster spots. And like what Reed says all the time, you're going to have to be getting rid of some stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. He says, I could stream Daniel Jones and maybe trade for Fields. I wouldn't want to do that. If you already have Jalen Hurts, you're going to go from living in a nice mansion to basically living in a little wooden cabin box, not even a nice cabin. Okay. Yeah. It's you're living underneath the bridge when you're streaming quarterbacks like Daniel Jones and trading for Justin Fields. Now you're picking him up, trading for Justin Fields. Nah, dude. Don't do it, man. It's not worth it. Try to find a trade though. Try to make a trade for running backs. Always good. You have a chance in the waiver wire. Go get Isaiah Pacheco. He might have a sliver of a chance of being a good running back one. Kenyon Drake will be good this week. Just try to help you out in the running back position. Jai M says, "Are you confident in Tua going forward?" I answered this last week. Vince is the Tua guy here.
Yeah, man. Right now he has just been clicking ever since he got back from his concussion. Even before the concussion, he was clicking with everybody. That offense is high powered. I don't care if they're trading away running backs and switching running backs every week, even though they can't trade anymore because the trade deadline just ended. But he has so many weapons there. He has Waddle, he has Hill. Even Gesicki will have his time to come in and have some good games. And then now he has Wilson and he has Mostert at running back, who are both great running backs who have pass catching ability. This guy is just to the moon. I think this past week he got 28 points, and I continue to see him getting 22 or higher in the weeks to come, no matter who he's playing against. He's shown that he can play against tough opponents and still put up great points, especially with Tyreek Hill going for over 100 yards almost every week. Jalen Waddle is following suit now. I said it in preseason, Waddle could be just as good as Hill, and he is right now. I see them winning a lot of games, and Tua is going to be the reason for that as well.
Jacob says, "What are your expectations for Cordero Patterson moving forward? Heard he could be coming back as soon as this week, and I've been stashing him in my IR spot." Vince is in the same boat. He has Cordero Patterson. He's been waiting for him to come back. I'm not too sure. I'm honestly not. As we saw before he got injured, he was losing some reps. All right, he was still the running back 100%. He's a great pass catching back since he used to be a wide receiver beforehand. But I feel like now that this offense is starting to click, now that they have won a few games here and there, they're going to be utilizing him as much as they can. He's going to be the best back in that backfield, and hopefully you're in a PPR league, because if you are, this guy's could be a real asset. But I don't see him more than a flex spot at most.
Yeah.
in fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I'm utilizing him as. Algier and Huntley have been doing great as the fill-in running back since he's been on IR, but Patterson is the clear number one. He showed it last year, and I don't see that changing. So you should have good hopes for him, but I don't think he's consistently getting over 15. Not just yet.
Should I use my waiver priority on Terrace Marshall, or should he wait?
I mean, if you have good wide receivers in your starting lineup right now who don't have a bye week coming up, I don't see why not. Terrace Marshall is a guy who's upcoming, but we still have to wait and see if his production is going to continue. So I would say do it, honestly. If there's nobody else that you want, I think he was the one that said earlier about Rondell Moore if he doesn't get him. But yeah, Terrace Marshall should be a guy. So go ahead and put that waiver for Rondell Moore above, and then right below it, put Terrace Marshall. Because Rondell Moore is more valuable. He's going to be consistent. So if you can get him, that's your best bet. But Terrace Marshall is a good second option there on the waiver wire.
Cody Armour, appreciate you coming back, my man. It says, in a full PPR, which of these four would you start? Pierce, KW3, Dalvin Cook, and DeAndre Swift. For sure, Kenneth Walker the third, 100%. Pierce, yes, and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, easy as that.
Just right down the line. DeAndre Swift, we do give a little bit of information back. He just hasn't found himself just yet. He only had 5 carries and 5 targets last week. That's not enough for a running back one position. Let him transition. Dan Campbell already came out and said that they're going to limit his snaps a little bit more until he finds himself. All about NFL football says, would you guys trade a 3rd round rookie pick in 23 in Dynasty for Jeff Wilson Jr., one injury away from starting Miami? Great show. Appreciate you. Great question. I love these dynasty questions here because it's just so unique. I love it. If I feel like a GM whenever I'm answering these questions, and I need to get in more of these leagues in the following years. But this is tough because yes, he is one injury away. Jeff Wilson Jr. came from San Francisco, Raheem the Dream Mostert came from San Francisco. Mike McDaniel, the head coach from Miami, came from San Francisco. And what did San Francisco do? They rotate their backs, right? They rotate their backs so much. So it's going to be a 50-50 show. Raheem has been dealing with injuries his whole career, but so has Jeff Wilson. He's been dealing with injuries his whole career. Last year, he stood up from a chair and tore his Achilles. So it happens. Is it worth trading a third-round pick? Are you looking to win right now? If you're looking to win right now, that could be a decent handcuff. But even so, look what Miami's doing. They're utilizing everyone. They got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Gesicki. And you saw last week, Raheem Mostert, he had 7 carries, 60 yards, and only got 7 points. Now he's splitting that with someone. I don't think it's worth it. In my opinion, I love Jeff Wilson. I love Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Mike McDaniel. I love all of them. But I don't think it's worth it in this scenario.
I would agree. Yeah, you can't mortgage your future for winning now sometimes.
Yeah, man. I say hold on to that third round. It's just your best bet. I don't think Jeff Wilson will overtake too much, so I think that's a risky move more than it will benefit you.
Hey, man, this guy's from Germany. That's freaking awesome. Hey, I appreciate your comment. I know we there's a lot of fantasy football podcasts out there, which, I applaud all of them because they do a lot of hard work, but we do our work as well. And we try to get in depth when we come to reasonings. We're not going to be like, oh, start this guy, next question. We want to give you guys our opinions on it because, if we're wrong, we got something to back it up. But we pride ourselves on being right on fantasy football, but we appreciate you being here. Thank you from listening all the way from Germany. That's awesome. We haven't had anyone that I know of from out of the States. That's awesome. Hope you're excited about the NFL game going out there. I know I'm excited. I am. I'm excited for the NFL to grow. But that was all he was referring to his last question. About Pierce, Kenneth Walker the third, and Dalvin Cook. I'll definitely have Kenneth Walker the third, running back 1, Dalvin Cook running back 2, and Damian Pierce as your flex. But Jacob Anders says, how worried should we be about Brandon Cooks? His tweets, missing practice for personal reasons, and obvious displeasure with the team has me worried and could be cut. It kind of reminds me of this guy right here, Elijah Moore from the New York Jets. There's a lot of drama out here. It reminds me of Robbie Anderson. We should be worried because they have a young team. They want to grow. Right now, I say you shouldn't be worried for the next 2 weeks. Later on in the season, that's when they're going to be like, okay, this guy's getting benched. Let's give our younger guys a chance and whatnot. They didn't trade him today. I was very surprised. But the worry factor is there. How worried am I? I'm not like pissing my pants worried. But it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
Try to trade him if you can.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be cut from the team this year. They'll trade him away next year, in my opinion, if they can figure out who can take his cap space.
Yeah, no comment on that guy.
Chris, he says, do you think Jamal Williams will get lower usage as time goes for Swift getting healthier? I like this question. I like this question a lot because it's very unique when you look at the Lions organization and they don't sell out. So Dan Campbell, he likes guys who fight. He likes guys who go out there and get the practice in and wants to bite off kneecaps. And right now, Swift isn't that guy. And he even said that Swift should be getting lower reps. So as time goes on, unless Swift proves himself to be that running back 1 that they invested so much into him, then yes, Jamal Williams will get lower usage. But all season long, they'll get to the red zone and they use Jamal Williams. They don't use Swift in the red zone. They use that guy all season long. I think he'll be pretty consistent with what he has, but I think his usage could only go up from here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Jamal Williams. I have him on 2 leagues. He has been on my bench for a while just because in those 2 leagues I have like insane amount of running backs that are getting 15 plus points. But he's a guy that's going to continue no matter what. Whether he gets 4 rushes, most of the times 2 of those rushes are going to be for a touchdown.
Yeah. Nice. Caden, the Colts fan, says, I traded TB12 for Tua in a 12-man redraft. I think I got a steal. Hey, Reed, go call the cops, man. This guy just stole from this man.
Call him right now. Call him right now.
How could you, Caden? Wow. I thought you were a good person. Chris says, traded J. Rob for Juju. Thoughts? Vince, you want to give me your thoughts here?
Well, I mean, all season we've never been high on Juju, but just 2 weeks ago he had one of the best games that he's had in a long time since he was actually relevant with the Steelers 2 years ago. But shoot, I mean, J. Rob, he's all right. I just want to know like what your team is. I think he commented below, so I'm gonna pull it up just a little bit. It says in my situation, he has good wide receivers. My running backs are Melvin Gordon and Brian Robinson, who he just got for Juju. But tight ends are Andrews, Ertz, and Dolchich. Wow, what a tight end room. Dolchich is doing amazing. He says, I clearly need running backs. Would you do Ertz for Jamal Williams and Pacheco? Shoot, heck yeah, I would. Because Dolchich right now is the number one option for Russell Wilson, and that offense is finally getting going. And Andrews is going to come back whether he's injured or not. He's going to play. He might not get the numbers that you want him to get in the next week or 2 weeks, but he will come back and he's going to be stellar. So, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat, my friend, because just like AJ has been saying for the past 4 or 5 weeks, Pacheco has the chance to get some good yardage and good snap share with even though the Kansas City Chiefs are running a triple-headed running back core.
Yeah, Caden says, thoughts on Dalvin Cook? He's a stud. I mean, don't lose hope on him. He's a stud. He's going to continue getting those points. The only thing that could slow him down, I know they just got a tight end. The only thing that could slow him down is himself and injury. That's the only thing I'm worried about him because he's dealt with injuries in the past for the past 4 years, and that's what I'm scared of. But other than that, Dalvin Cook, top 5 fantasy running back, my opinion, hands down. Says it was offered to me and I had to take it. Oh, he's talking about the TB12 for 2. That was offered to you?
The guy was throwing.
He was
good for you, man.
Edward says, I just made a massive trade. Who do you guys think won? Dalvin Fournette, Mike Williams, Lamar for Hurts, Waddle, CD, Swift, full PPR. I'm going to say right now, Hurts, Waddle, CD, Swift.
Yeah. That's
full PPR. CD Lamb is a wide receiver 1 for fantasy football when it comes to PPR. You have that guy I don't like him, the Cowboys quarterback. Dak Prescott, I don't know. I just went blank there. You got Dak Prescott coming back, and CeeDee Lamb, he's the wide receiver 1. Clearly, there's no competition over there. Hurts, I take him over Lamar. I think he's more consistent. Jalen Waddle, league winner. I don't care if they got Tyreek Hill. I don't care if they got Gesicki. I don't care if they just got Jeff Wilson Jr. League winner as Swift. Hopefully, he'll find his footing, but I definitely like that part a little bit more.
Yeah, man. Going forward, I think definitely Hurts, Waddle, CD, and Swift are the guys who are going to win you your league, especially in the playoffs when they do come. Yeah, I think
you won this trade.
Yeah, I think that one.
He's a winner. He's a winner. Kaden says his team is now Tua, Henry, Dalvin, CD, Hopkins, Goddard, Allen. Are you done? Are you done, Kaden? We've dealt with you for the past 2 weeks now of just showing off your team. We get it. You're good.
Him and Brar, man. Him and Brar.
Brar. Yeah, Brar does the same thing. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys watching. Gamers Z has another question. It says, should I continue starting Christian Kirk or drop him to get Rondell Moore or McCole Hardman? Not Hardman. Screw Hardman. He had that's never going to happen again. Okay, he had 3 touchdowns against the Niners. The Niners could not adjust to save their life. It's not going to happen again. I can promise you that. If it happens again, I would quit this show. Okay, it'll be these guys only. I would quit this show. That's how confident I am that Hardman would not have a game like that ever again. But
taking over.
Christian, I don't think you should drop him for Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore is only good until Brown comes back, and then Robbie Anderson might see a slight increase in production. I know Rondell Moore played 99% of snaps, but Christian Kirk, it's just that offense. That O-line cannot hold long enough for Trevor Lawrence to get the ball to him. He's getting the targets. He's just it's just bad passes, not enough time, throwing the ball. That's all it is. That's my opinion. Do you guys agree here?
I would agree. I definitely wouldn't trade or drop Christian Kirk, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Just wait it out.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk will come back.
Reed, you want to take this question?
All right. Thoughts on Tony Pollard ROS? I have him, but I've got KW3, Cook, Pierce, Swift, and Connor. So I'm thinking I might sell high, maybe package him with Connor.
Ooh, who does
That
he
is a
want to
running
get?
back.
Yeah, what do you want to
sure,
get?
I'm sure he wants to get like Cooper Cup or like Stephon Diggs, like because
Yeah,
he's
you
Now's the
got to be
time to
going
sell
for
high on
somebody
Pollard.
big. Yeah.
yeah.
Now's the time to sell high on Pollard. I like Connor a lot, but he hasn't shown anything. But we're just waiting for him to get healthy. He got injured again. But that package, you could definitely get a good wide receiver, maybe a great QB. But yeah, sell high on Pollard right now because the Cowboys are just stubborn in their own ways, and they will never realize or acknowledge that he should be the running back one in that team. Yeah, that Calvin Ridley trade came out of nowhere. I forgot about him. I thought he fell off the face of the earth. How funny is it? Was that true? That meme where Calvin Ridley? It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That was true.
He
He bet
traded for
on.
the Falcons to beat the Jaguars.
Yeah, that's what he bet on. He bet on that the Falcons would beat the Jaguars. Now he's part of the Jaguars. Funny how the NFL works.
That is funny. Caden, he's living life right. He is Stash Madison, the best handcuff in the waivers right now. Good for you. All About NFL Football says, what strategy are you guys more intrigued with? A, stay away from the Chiefs backfield no matter what, says carries, or a lottery, or get Pacheco as soon as possible in half PPR dynasty. If it's a dynasty league, Pacheco has a lot of upside to him because I see them moving forward to him as years go on, but he needs to prove himself this year. They're giving him the opportunity, but right now it's a 3-man by committee in the backfield. They're going to be sharing no matter what, unless one of those guys get injured. None of them got traded, so there goes that, right? But unless one of those guys actually gets injured, you won't see anything from Pacheco. You might see a flash a game or two, but they're not going to commit to just handing the ball off to one guy only.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Don't trust.
Could I get anything for Melvin Gordon at this point? Yeah. You got to find what's the name for that one guy in your league? You gotta find the, for the lack of better words, a sucker, right? You gotta find the sucker in the league, right? Melvin Gordon. If someone's like, oh, this guy's offering me Melvin Gordon, let me look him up. He's a running back 1 for Broncos. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. You can get something. You probably won't get much, but yeah, try to get rid of him. I don't like him. They're sharing the ball too much with him and Latavius Murray. Use this as a selling point. If I were you, say, hey, Mike Boone just went on the IR. He's injured, bro. It's going to be Melvin Gordon. He's a running back 1. Solidify. Look it up. Go ahead.
Also, they just got Chase Edmonds, so I think they're going to be doing Melvin Gordon so dirty once again. They sat him for Latavius Murray when they picked him up. And I think now they have Chase Edmonds. Melvin Gordon's future is looking very bleak. I feel so bad for the guy.
I feel bad for him, dude. Why didn't they just trade him?
They should have traded him.
I know.
This guy has cried 3 times on live television. He's cried 3 times. Why are you doing this to this man? Let him go. Jeez. Hopkins has been my savior. He's been a lot of people's savior. So good for you on stashing him or drafting him. Hopefully late on your draft, but good for you, my man. Also put a waiver claim for Deshaun this week. I think it's time. It is time. It really isn't time, but he is trending so high right now that everyone's picking him up already. I don't like to talk anything good about this guy. I don't like him, but the facts is what I said earlier. Ever since he came on the league, he's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback. So it's a good guy to stash. I don't think he's going to be doing that well this season. But, if you got the roster spot and if you want to troll some guys on your team, good for you. Good job. Cody Armour says, yeah, I've got Tua and my tight ends are Freemuth Pitts, but my wide receivers are terrible. With Michael Thomas and Hollywood out, I'm starting DJ Moore and Tyler Boyd.
Ooh, nice.
Ouch. Yeah, it's nice, but I mean, when Jamar Chase comes back, that's if one of those guys gets injured, if people actually play against the Panthers, I don't like it. Yeah, you got to go out there and get yourself a wide receiver, man. Sell high on McLaurin. Yeah, I'd sell high on McLaurin. Right now, Heineke, that's his favorite wide receiver, and it shows big time. But go trade high on him right now while you can, because once Wentz comes back, which is playoff season, his production is going to fall. Caden says, neither do I in fantasy football. He's a monster. Yeah, he is. With Tua's tough playoff schedule, he might save me. Yeah, maybe. He might if he is that guy.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I know Tua has a super hard schedule coming up, but if you look back at past games, I believe there is 1 or 2 games there where he had decent matchups. So, in my opinion, I think Tua is going to be a guy who's going to be all right. But if you do want to throw some guys and get Deshaun Watson, I would just say do not drop Tua because I think both I can speak for AJ and I think Deshaun Watson is a bust in fantasy for this year at least.
Colts defense against New England or Vikings against Commanders? You go Vikings against Commanders. I don't trust the Colts whatsoever. I love their defense. I really do. I love DeForest Buckner. I New England's been on a hot streak right now, and they did it to New York Jets. They could do it to the Colts. Vikings have a better chance. I do feel like the Commanders will put up some points, but Vikings have a better opportunity right there. All About Football says, one scary question. One scary question after Halloween night. Is there a ghost in the backyard of my SF boy? So that's like a thing that Vincent Reed has. They say I got a ghost in my room, and that goes on in the back. I just purchased this house. I've been in this house for about 6 months now, and the door's open or whatnot. I think it's my cat. I'm not too sure, but hey, maybe that's how I get all this knowledge for fantasy football.
Right, you just have another brain in that room, but you don't know who it is. It's probably a football fan for sure.
Yeah, probably. Chris says, if Washington keeps winning, will they even start Wentz on return? Yeah, they will. Ron Rivera, he talked very badly about Wentz. That he came back and said, y'all need to back off of Wentz. That's my QB. They're going to start him. Will he maintain that starting position? He might not. But yeah, once he is healthy, he will come back to start, even if it's for half a game or a full game, just depending how he does. But Caden, the Colts fan, says, is the Colts offense that is scary? It is truly offense to those who watch.
I think
Offensive, sorry.
I think it's trashing the Colts, yeah. Colts
Is he?
Yeah. I mean,
it's very disappointing. We talked very highly about the Colts this preseason. I was very excited about that. I had high hopes for Matt Ryan. I did. They need to find themselves. I really hope they do. I feel for you, man. I feel for you. Hopefully things do get better for the Colts. But you guys get demolished by Clown Town over there. Cody Armour says, what kind of wide receiver do you think I could get in return for Pollard Connor package deal? Low-key might just throw Pierce or Swift since Kenneth Walker III is the only running back on my team who hasn't gone on bye. What if you're going to throw in someone like Pierce or Swift, get someone big, right? You want to get someone.
Yeah.
I doubt you could get someone like Justin Jefferson, but everyone's trying to sell high right now on Deebo Samuel. I'm going to talk about Deebo because, yes, CMC's there. Yes, CMC got this, and that. And the wide receivers didn't do much for San Francisco, but that's Deebo Samuel. We're paying him this money. He's going to be getting the targets. You're going to be force-feeding him, whether it be in the backfield with CMC, because he will still get snaps, or just those easy, simple routes. He is still, in my opinion, a reliable guy.
Yeah, I think you could possibly get someone like Mike Evans. You could probably even stretch it. I don't know who has Devontae Adams. He does have a tough schedule coming up, but he's going to be the only guy that is going to be consistent on that team. Darren Waller has not been a factor, and he's dealing with injuries. So I think that Devontae Adams could be a guy you could swindle from someone, just depending on who has him and if they need running backs or not. But yeah, just like we always say, just look at the teams. See who's in dire need of running backs, because we're 100% sure there's 1 or 2 teams out there who is like 3-5 or 2-6, and they're like, please, someone send me a trade for running backs. I'll give you whoever. So just do something like that, my friend.
Definitely time to go ghost hunting over here. Play some Phasmophobia with you, Nestor. Heineke is not that guy. You need to get out of my comment section. Katie says, Sam Elliott looked decent. Yeah, he did look decent. I'm pretty surprised. Little Texas boy out there. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I liked him. Vikings defense or Seahawks defense this week? Who are the Seahawks playing?
Seahawks. They're going to play the Cardinals. Last time we played them, we had 17 points against them. Kyler Murray cannot run against us. We sacked him 7 times the first time we played him, and that was only 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago. Sorry, my bad.
No comment on my end, okay? Because I'm in that midsection, whether believe in the Seahawks or not.
You have to, AJ.
I just can't. How, dude? You look at this team. How are they doing it?
It's just great, man. We're such a
Oh my
cohesive
gosh.
team.
People in the chat are probably like, how are these guys friends, man? You got a Niners fan and a Seahawks fan. How do they even talk to each other? It's rough.
Hey, sometimes we don't.
Yeah. Honestly, before we started the podcast, we wouldn't talk to each other in football season at all.
we would wait for the Spurs to start playing.
Yeah.
And then that's when
Big
we
Spurs
start being
guys.
friends again.
True story. Caden the Colts fan. Also, McPherson. Is it time to drop him? Yeah, I think it is time to drop him. They're just struggling way too much, and they haven't found themselves not a lot of room for opportunity to score there. I think it is time. Chris, as a Giants fan, not going for a wide receiver is crazy. Cooks or Judy would have been perfect. Cooks for playoff push, Judy playoff, and long term. I don't want to say you have a young team, but I don't want to say that you have a very experienced team either. I think Judy would have been awesome. I doubt they would have traded Judy just because they invested so much in him. But yeah, it is kind of weird. I was kind of hoping that y'all will go for someone like a Kendrick Bourne, someone who's not going to break the bank, but help you guys out, especially with all those wide receiver injuries that the Giants are going through. Hopefully you guys can find something because I love what the Giants are doing. I think you guys need to focus up on the offensive line. But of course, no one was trading their offensive lineman. It's so scarce in this league right now. But yeah, it was a little crazy. It's kind of sucks whenever your team doesn't make any trade moves, which normally the Niners don't. But in heaven right now, even though we have no draft picks. Says the mother of all dynasty questions. Uh-oh, I'm a little scared here. Should I drop Wentz and move Pickett from the rookie minor spot for him into the active spot? Super flex. My other QBs are Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones. Ooh,
I'm not 100% sure.
You would have dropped Wentz?
I would drop Wentz for sure. I just don't know if I would put Pickett into the active spot, I feel like he could put like Trevor Lawrence there for sure. But then again, I'm not very experienced when it comes to dynasty. But I just don't know if Pickett is the guy yet. He is the starter there and with the Steelers, but he just lost Claypool. He's not going to have too much to throw to. So I think you're taking a big dip there. But of course, again, Wentz, drop that guy for sure.
Yeah, drop him. But Pickett into your active spot. I mean, you could find some upside since it is a dynasty. He's so young. And he did come out of the press conference and he did say that, hey, we got to do better. We got to look at film better. We got to practice better. He's saying we a lot. And coming from a rookie, is that really acceptable? But this guy has that dog in him. I think that's something that Mike Tomlin likes. So I think we could see a slight increase in his production. I'm excited about it. But yeah, I would drop Wentz. Take a chance. Why not? Go crazy. Yeah, that is a good question, though, for Dynasty football. Really good question. Cody says, Pierce and Pollard for Jalen Waddle. Doesn't sound too bad if I can get this guy to accept. You better get this guy to accept. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Jalen Waddle's a big-time league winner. Oh, my goodness. Pierce and Pollard. Oh, I like that. Yeah, he's got Lenny, but his other RBs are Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Raheem the Dream Mostert. Oh, yeah, he might need to take that because Alec Pierce will help him out tremendously. Especially and Leonard Fournette is just going to.
Especially the way Pollard's been going, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's scared that Mostert has his new running back mate with Jeff Wilson. So I think he would bite at that for sure.
Nice. Yeah, this has been a good show. We've been getting a lot of questions. Sorry, Reed had to leave. He had some other obligations to get going. And recently, our Tuesdays have been kind of booming. So appreciate every single one of y'all joining us here on Tuesday. If you guys want to keep the questions going, I think we're to come out to our last part of our fantasy waiver wire pickups. Yes, this is a video about waiver wire pickups and not just questions. But let's get into Vincent's favorite category real quick, the tight end position.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have too much at tight end this week because it's kind of getting sketchy out there. But there are two guys that are going to be coming up back into the lineup or rising into the lineup. So I want to start with the guy who's less likely to be a humongous factor because the Lions just lost T.J. Hawkinson. So now they have a guy named Brock Wright. And he did play this past week. And he did, or actually this past week he didn't play fairly well. But the week before that, when T.J. Hawkinson was having some trouble, this guy was 4 for 4 in receptions. He had 57 yards receiving. Amazing. So he's going to be a guy who could slide into the Lions' tight end spot for the number one position. I think Jared Goff will target him because Jared Goff likes big-bodied guys out there. Right now, the Lions aren't looking too hot, so they're going to look for anybody and anyone to take advantage of T.J. Hawkinson's absence. So I think this guy could be a possibility for you at tight end if you want a guy who has a big boom factor, because again, TJ Hawkinson did have that game where he had 40 points. I think this guy Brock Wright could be a guy like that as well. But I'll go ahead and talk about my last tight end here for the day.
Is my cat out?
I don't know, man, but I see the comment that you're looking at.
I'm freaking out because I didn't see him.
Okay, man, I think he's just trying to scare you.
Maybe I'm spooked out, man. Halloween's already over.
No, but my last tight end, I want to talk about Logan Thomas. He hasn't played since week 4 when he got hurt, but now he's back. And really, the Washington Commanders haven't had a guy at tight end all that much. My only concern is if Heineke is going to target him. So that's the thing here. Heineke does not throw the ball often, or he throw it very well. I know Reed is kind of high on the guy just because it makes AJ mad, and because Heineke did beat the Packers, and Reed's a little bit in love with the guy because he beat the Packers for some reason, but I don't know. But Logan Thomas,
dude, he's not even here.
I know. He's in the comments. He can comment if he wants to. But Logan Thomas has one of the best rest of the schedule for a tight end position. He has nobody until week 14 he has a tough matchup. So the next 5 weeks, this guy is going to be a disaster for defenses who go up against tight ends. I think Logan Thomas could come back and get the same production that he was getting. He was getting about 6 targets and 3 receptions. His high was 5 receptions. I want to pull up Reed's comments here. But Reed wanted to be here when he talked about Isaiah Likely because he finally got targets once Andrews went down. But he says he would love to see Isaiah Likely get more targets, but I think Andrews is going to play. And yeah, that's going to happen. But Andrews is fostering a injury, so Likely might be likely to get more targets.
Okay, we're done here. But I want to circle back to this because he says now the cat is out, right? So in other words, that the secret's out. So I thought my cat was out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gave away his secret about tight ends.
Hey,
but
man. Everybody's gonna know, my friend. TJ Hawkinson is a big departure from the Lions because not that he was the best guy there to catch the ball from Jared Goff, but he was a guy who was pretty consistent.
I want to troll on Caden real quick.
Go ahead.
Says just offered a trade for Justin Tucker. I haven't heard anyone offering a trade for a kicker since like 2019. What the? I'll that. Yeah, he's even laughing at himself about it. That's awesome. Hey, whatever makes your team better, right? I mean, you got to get the best of the best. That's it. You woke up and pissed excellence. But yeah, no, those are some good tight ends there. You're our tight end guy. You know that, right, Vince?
Yeah,
we appreciate our tight end guy.
I do have one more. I forgot about this guy, but I'm not very high on him. So this is for you guys in the 14-man league. Oh, is Gabriel first?
He is first. He just beat out Pete.
Ooh, nice. And that's because I gave Pete a great trade that could have let him beat Gabriel, but he didn't want to trade with me for some reason. And then he lost Breece Hall 2 days later. And I was like, sorry, my friend.
I can't believe you.
Oh my
You
jeez.
get out of here. I'm not talking to him. We're not talking to you anymore, okay? Whitworth Scriber says, should I trade Montgomery, Terry, and Alec Pierce for D. Pierce and Lazard? I
Yes.
like Dameon Pierce a lot, right? Alan Lazard, I think he's gonna be real consistent when it comes to the Packers. I know he's injured right now, but
Actually, Lazard has been very, very consistent.
has he?
Yeah, he's averaging 15 points, and when he was healthy, the last time he didn't have more than 13 points was week 2. So for about a 6-week span or a 5 to 6 week span, I believe he had over 13 points in every game.
Well, take it. Alec Pierce is an elite, and I don't want to say elite, but he's a solidified running back 1 for fantasy football. I think it's a good win if you just get that guy on your team. I do like that trade. Take it. Mickey, should we answer this question? He has DK Metcalf on his profile picture.
Hey man, he also has what's his name from the Jets? I remember the little drama with that. I just can't remember that guy's name. But anyways, 2 quick questions: Montgomery or Deontay Foreman, or Hill or Waller? Huh. I don't know if I follow his question. Is he asking like someone?
So that's his first question. He's going to ask another. He just asked another question. No, never mind. That's not a question. But it says 2 quick questions: Deontay Montgomery or Deontay. I think he means Hill or Waller as well. So
Taysom Hill, right?
Yeah, Taysom Hill, because if it was Tyreek, he wouldn't be asking that question.
Yeah.
Oh man, Darren Waller's still questionable. I don't like him, dude. I don't like him at all. I'll go Deontay Foreman for 100% over Montgomery. I'm going to say Waller. I'm going to go Waller. I don't like him. He hasn't been doing great. He's bound to have a decent game. They just got a goose egg this past week. I just don't like Hill.
I mean either.
Yeah.
If I were to say it, I would say Hill, but I'm very reluctant on that because if Waller is healthy, he's going to possibly come back and have some good turnout. But it's not going to be an amazing turnout. So I think if you can get someone else at tight end other than those 2 guys, try to trade both of them for a top tier tight end if you can, but we'll see. This guy.
My team is good. If I can get an extra 5 points, I'll take it. Hey, man.
That's true. 5 points.
Do it. Get those trades in because that makes a difference. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, when the Eagles were on a bye week, we have defensive positions, right? I played with no linebacker at all, just so I could hold on to the Eagles defense because someone gave them up on the waiver wire, and I still won. So I did that just to get the Eagles defense because the rest of the season they're looking pretty solid. It says, I see you a Seahawks fan. Me too. I live in New York. Love trash talking my friends about it. We trash talk each other. And as we said earlier, this podcast is usually before we started this podcast during football season, we don't talk to each other at all. Ever since we started this podcast, we're kind of like forced to talk to each other. So we share notes, we do all that. But yeah, usually we're like what you call the frenemies, right? Frenemy. Yeah. We don't talk during football season. Basketball season, different story. We'll talk with each other. But but yeah, Seahawks fans are horrible. All About Football says Hubbard will be the Bears RB in the future. Looks a better fit than Monty. Oh yeah,
well, that could be something.
Yeah, we could definitely see that as well. Younger. I mean, the Bears are a young team.
Herbert, yeah, but yeah.
We got you. We've been talking about Herbert. He's already outperforming Montgomery already, and he's younger. This team is young. They want to grow. I don't see Montgomery with them next year. I know it's a kind of a bold prediction, but I could definitely say that. I mean,
yeah,
Herbert looks great. I have him all my fantasy leagues. I do. Caden says, I'm stashing Hilliard and Madison because I learned the hard way of losing Williams. How many bench spots do you have? Like, what are you doing?
I feel like this guy tells us a new team every week. I feel like he has like 4 fantasies where he has like one of the best teams ever. So he just brings back new questions.
I'm still waiting for you to change your profile picture. Your backswing looks a little off there. You're aligned. You have your right foot slightly back. It's a hook. You're hooking that ball right there. Gabriel Munoz says, should I trade Keenan Allen or Jonathan Taylor? Those are 2 guys that you could definitely trade high on, depending on what your team looks like. You could definitely get a lot of value for Keenan Allen. You could get a lot of value for Jonathan Taylor still at this point. I mean, Yeah, we've been disappointed with both those guys. Jonathan Taylor still has a chance, but his stock did go up just a little bit by them releasing Hines. Just it just shows that the Colts still trust Jonathan Taylor and he will be the bell cow of the team. But you can, depending on what your team looks like. What do you think here, Vince?
I mean, he can, yeah. I don't know which team he's talking about because he is in both of the leagues that we are both in. Uh, I just haven't kept up with his team yet. But if you're talking about NSP, where he's number one, I would say go for it. Try to get someone
He's not
better.
talking about NSP.
No, he's not. Okay, well then he's talking about my league, where he's about the same as me in that league as well, somewhere around like 3-5. But Keenan Allen, he's going to come back and he's going to be Keenan Allen. He has been dealing with injuries this whole season, but I had said that in the beginning of the preseason. I felt like he was just going to be a guy to be injury prone. So if you can trade him, I think that's the best bet. You can get anybody for Keenan Allen because everybody's always high on Keenan Allen. He's the number one wide receiver there, and he has been for the past 5-6 years. Fournette or Jamal? I'm assuming he's saying to start. I would say Jamal right now.
Yeah, especially after Dan Campbell came out and said that Swift shouldn't have gotten as many carries as he did, and he got 5 carries. That's unless Dan Campbell's a liar, you start Jamal, right? But Fournette, he's been on that down slope ever since. Was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Rashad White's going to be taking that dude's spot. Since he's in one league. Besides Godwin, I do not have a player I drafted.
That's insane.
What?
I wonder,
oh my gosh!
You know how that on the app it has like how many trades and like pickups that you've done?
Oh yeah,
I wonder what his number's at.
oh my gosh, he's like a fantasy not bookie broker, fantasy broker. That's what he is. Meki the Goat says also I got offered Jonathan Taylor for Deebo Samuel. Depending on what your roster looks like, I like that trade because Deebo, his production will slightly go down just because he is sharing a lot of those targets with CMC nowadays, but he's still going to be getting a consistent 7 to 10 targets a week. But Taylor, I still have faith in him. I think he's going to have a huge upside along the season, especially now with Naheem Hines gone. Like that. Oh, sorry, missed one. It says, I am from Germany, but I spent 2 years at Penn State as a student, so I grew up as an Eagles fan. Guess you know how I'm feeling after 8 weeks. Good vibes. Yeah, they're frauds, but nah, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Right, just oh man. Wow, Penn State. I was really hoping they would have been Ohio State this past week. I mean, it was close. Yeah, I bet you are feeling good. Good vibes indeed. That trade turns out to be big for them with AJ Brown joining Jalen Hurts. You guys looking great offensively and defensively. Hopefully you guys can keep it up and just knock those Cowboys down. Caden says drafted Lamar, Kamara, Michelle, AJ Brown, Cup, Andrews, Godwin. Let's just say I effed up. Yeah, you did. You did.
Imagine his team this week. With all those players,
I know
he would have probably been like me. I just want to brag a little bit. In one of my leagues, I scored 205 points this past week. It was insane. But yeah, it says made too many trades way too fast. Didn't trust many guys. That was me last year, man. And I think I was in the same boat as you. I see this comment way down here where it says you scored 1,200 points, but you're still 4-4. So yeah, that's something I did last year, but I was way worse. I think I was like 2-6 before I made my hopeful playoff surge where I won 5 games in a row, but I still didn't make it. So stop trading.
Stop it. Yeah, you're a little Vince Jr. here. YouTube says, should I trade Pierce and Amon for Tyreek Hill? Yeah, to it. Tyreek Hill he's breaking numbers right. I think he's ranked third wide receiver?
I think he's I think he just moved up to number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Remember all that trash talk I got for drafting Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round? Was it 3rd or 4th? Can't remember where I got him.
It could have been 3rd, I think. I don't think he dropped to the 4th.
No, but yeah, everyone's because in that league I drafted CMC, Tyreek Hill, and they're trash talking me so much.
Yeah.
I'm still undefeated.
It's,
Gotta flex a little bit there.
I want to make sure. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is now the number 1 wide receiver.
Crazy. He says, I have Herbert at QB, RBs are Stevenson, Walker, Pollard, Foreman, Zeke, Monty. Wide receivers are Debo, Waddle, Evans. Tight end is Hill and Waller. Oh, yeah. Look at you, man.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Ramondre Stevenson. I love talking about Ramondre Stevenson. I love that guy. That's my biggest like flex this fantasy football season. I said, get this guy, get him. And Kenneth Walker too. That was another guy.
Yeah.
We said, get this guy in the last pick of the draft. He's gonna be there. Go get him. Yeah, I think JT could eventually be a great flex for you if you got a Waddle, Evans. That's all. That's it. Debo, Waddle, and Evans. It seems like you got a lot of depth in your running back position now. I'd be a little scaresome. What's up?
I would trade if I were him.
To get JT and release Debo?
Oh no! Like I'm saying, like trade some of those running backs.
Yeah, trade some running backs and get some wide receiver depth because that's extremely thin. Really good 3 guys, right? But extremely thin.
Yep.
So this is where it gets crazier. It says I traded Cup for Jefferson and Evans. Not bad. Traded Evans for Chase. Oh, Evans for Chase. Traded Chase and Lamar for CD and Henry.
Oh my jeez. He was just like, he's like, oh, I got this candy from this kid.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna trade with you because I
He's
want
like that
candy.
episode of The Office when Dwight Schrute has that garage sale and he's like, I have this paper clip, and he goes and trades into he gets something big. But at the end, he just gets a bust. That's what happened. Says, who is a wide receiver I could try and sell high on Ayuk and Gerald Everett? I need to get rid of a tight end. You could definitely sell high on Ayuk. He's had back-to-back
20-point games.
Back-to-back weeks of doing great. And, he caught that touchdown pass last week that should have given him just enough points to make him look consistent. Sell high on him. I need to get rid of a tight. Oh, he needs to get rid of a tight end. So he has Gerald Everett out there. I like Everett, but if you're getting rid of him, you probably have like Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews or something like that. But yeah, you could definitely sell high on Ayuk. Who's a wide receiver I could try to sell? Yeah. Then he said he traded Jefferson for Hopkins and Cook. There you go. Okay. Panicked because I didn't have a QB, traded DK for Brady. Then I traded Brady for Tua, which just happened. Somehow I traded Camaro for Hall and Allen, and then Hall got injured. That's sad.
Ooh.
Traded Andrews for Goddard and Javonte week 1.
Wow. Jesus. He's just been on a roller coaster, hasn't he?
That is a lot. That is a lot. Marcus Yosko, appreciate you being here. Sorry if I butchered your name, but should I start Kirk Cousins or Trevor Lawrence this week? I start
Kirk.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll start Kirk Cousins. I start Kirk Cousins 100% over Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, oh my gosh,
they just got Hawkinson, man. He's going to be passing it.
Oh yeah, they're going to look good. Start Christian Kirk. Wait, so do I trade Taylor for Debo? I don't like your depth. I mean, should I trade? Should I do Taylor? Oh no. I wouldn't, man. If you had more wide receivers, I definitely would. But right now, nah. I would. It's a good trade, but I wish you had more backup. Blurpy, appreciate you coming back. What's up, man? It says, hey, fellas, my team is Hurts, Cook, Kamara, Etienne, Gibson, Foreman, Pacheco, wide receivers, Pittman, Terry, Lockett, D-Hop, Monron, Wandell, tight ends, Waller, Taysom Hill. Any trade ideas? Yeah, get some wide receivers.
Yeah.
I like D-Hop.
Pittman and Terry or Terry's been probably your best one besides D-Hop. He's probably the most consistent one. Lockett has been consistent too. He had one game where he didn't do so hot. But shoot, I really don't know if you have anybody to trade unless you're trying to go after a number 1 in each position. I'd probably say your weakest area is tight end here. I could say you could trade Gibson and maybe even Wandale just because he's a rising star. Try to get someone like Gerald Everett or Ertz, or try to get someone like Goddard, someone who's consistent getting more than 10 points a week. Because Waller right now is dealing with so much injury. Taysom Hill is such a random guy. Like he'll do 7 points one week, 20 points another, and then he'll have 1 point in another week. So it's like, I think your area of need is tight end for sure. That's how you're going to win your championship.
He said that he just got offered Derrick Henry for Terry Lockett and Foreman. I mean, that's a lot of people, but I'd do it too. Yeah, your top 2 running backs. You have ETN on there too. Oh, do it.
Imagine Kamara, ETN, and Derrick Henry.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Kane said he made 17 trades. Yeah,
Jeez.
17. Holy, you know what? He's the Bears. Fantasy boring if you keep it the same. Yeah, it just depends who you're with. This is a money league, by the way. Ouch. I guess. Okay, there's just okay. So other questions we have here says we could run 2 flex in our leagues. Oh, for that trade, he could run 2 flex position in his leagues. Yeah, nice. Especially with those running backs, that'll be an awesome opportunity for you to do so.
It'd be insane.
Yeah. Mr. McCall, appreciate you, man. He says doing great. Your son just left us. He said he's too good for us, and he just up and left. But he just had some responsibilities to get to. But that was awesome. Appreciate you joining us live. Herbie says I could run all 4 if I get Henry. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I think that'll be a great opportunity for you, especially to show out in that league. Legacy, appreciate you coming back. Thank you for joining us live. It says, would you trade JJ and Kamara for CMC and Higgins? You would?
I don't know. No,
I like CMC a lot, right? But he's not going to be scoring 40 points every single week. And also, Deebo Samuel was out for that week as well, so you didn't have that fighting your targets. I like Justin Jefferson, Kamara. I think he's going to be consistent. I love CMC. I love him, right? Obviously, I'm a Niners fan, but Higgins, the offense is struggling, and then as well, Jamar Chase will be coming back at the same time. So.
Yeah, I say hang on to those guys, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd love for you to have CMC on your team, but they're just asking for too much. They're asking for 2 starters for an elite starter and a
guy who's
maybe flex guy. Yeah, not worth it. But dang it, I hate saying no to CMC. Wentworth says I have Goddard, Everett, and Njoku on my 12-man team. Which one should I trade away?
Well, I think Njoku is hurt right now. Everett, I haven't been keeping up with him lately, but I know he was consistent just 2 weeks ago. Goddard has been consistent forever. It just depends on who you're trying to get, you know? If you're trying to trade him away, I would say you'd probably do Everett because Goddard has been so consistent. And then Njoku's going to come back and he's going to play well. I hate to say it, but Deshaun Watson, when he starts playing too, then Njoku's going to be getting some targets. Because what I remember from Deshaun Watson when he played with the Texans, he liked his big-bodied guys, especially at tight end. So Njoku will be also a good guy when Goddard has to go on his bye week.
Yeah, good input there. But Everett's been on a high right now. He's had 4 straight games with 4+ catches and 40+ yards. He's looking good. Blurpy, he's like, you rock with D-Hop and Amon Ra with that 4-headed running back monster. Awesome. Katie says he fixed his profile pic. I don't like your stat. You know, it's still kind of you can't even see the ball in the picture because he sliced the hell out of it. But
he looks like he's doing the Happy Gilmore right there, man.
We gotta play some golf, Caden. Legacy, my other RBs are ETN and Mixon. I love that you have ETN. It says I'll try to think of another way. It really wants, if he really wants JJ. To be completely honest with you, if I want straight up JJ CMC, straight up, know his worth. JJ, he's a top tier wide receiver, and wide receivers this season are way more scarce than running backs. Know your worth. CMC is worth Justin Jefferson. It's up to him. Honestly, I mean, you hold the cards here. If he wants it that bad and you know it, you hold the cards. Number 1 team in my league is 8-0. It's Lamar, Ramondre, Jamal, Diggs, Claypool, Herbert. It makes 0 sense. I like Ramondre Stevenson. Jamal has just been getting lucky. Lamar, Diggs.
I want to see how many points he's scored. How many points are for and how many points are against? Because I feel like every week he's been playing someone who just has the worst week of their life.
Well, it's his own fault. Kaden, it's your fault. You had a winning team that you traded away. Yeah. Gosh. It says we're located in Texas in the San Antonio area. Mm-hmm. It says, should Jameson Williams be stashed? I definitely think so, especially with them giving away that tight end. I think he will be fighting Amon Ron for that wide receiver 1 spot. I think he's a good stash for your team. So you'd offer JJ straight up for 100%.
Yep,
100% offer JJ straight up.
I would for sure.
Says, my luck, I have the most points scored and the most points against. It happens. It happens to everyone in the league. It happens to everyone. I'm trying to think of mine. I don't have the most points against, but
No, I think in both leagues where you're 8-0, I have like more points against than you do. But
oh, do you?
your points for is insane still.
I got a lot of points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, and that's because I messed up and I kept some guys on the bench too.
Yeah.
He's middle of the pack and scored. It's just, hey, don't worry. You got the rest of the season left. Chill out, my guy. Hey, take a chill pill.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Still got like 6 weeks, depending on when your playoffs are. Let's see.
Last week I put up 154 and lost. Hey, Caden, sorry to break it to you, but scoring 154 in golf ain't that great, buddy. Ain't that great. I'm just trolling at this point. But no, that's super fun. Guys, if you guys need a defense this week, these are the defenses that you need. The Eagles against Texans, Patriots against Colts, Vikings against Commanders, and Chiefs against the Titans. You probably won't be able to find the Eagles or Chiefs, but you might be able to find Chiefs. They just came off a bye. But Patriots, Vikings, most definitely. Those guys have a very favorable matchup. But you get them while you can. Win some leagues. His average is 76 right now, way better than my average. I'm in mid 80s. I'm just an average golfer, not scratch. But just be totally realistic here. But yeah, Vince, you got anything else to add before we head out for the night?
Nah, man. Just look at those trades, see how it's gonna affect some of the guys on your team right now. I mean, if you guys have Mostert or you guys have maybe TJ Hawkinson stashed on the bench, I know I was able to pick him up. Those are guys that are going to be getting more consistency. So just make sure you check out the trades. Literally, you just go to Google, say NFL trades November, and they all pop up right there. So just go ahead and look at them. Just make sure you make the right choices.
You can either go to Google or you can find us on Twitter. We are very active on Twitter and we keep you guys updated with everything that's going on in the NFL. We are getting better at it. So this is our social medias down below. We even have a TikTok. Yes, we're weird. We get it, right? But we do it. We do it all. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I know, Kaden, you said you have 3.6 handicap. That's insane. That's way too low for me. I offered 4 trades this afternoon. You keep offering trades. I want you to break the records of making trades for everybody that plays fantasy football. Yeah, I hope you guys can do that. But thank you guys so much for joining us live today. This was a very long stream, an hour and 47 minutes. Our voices are getting tired out. But thank you guys so much. And until next time, keep on grinding.